very few things more obnoxious than a person announcing their own birthday via social media. Do you really require so much attention that you just have to let the whole world know? Anyways, my birthday's coming up this month. From about ages 4 to 10, my birthdays were always held at Chuck E. Cheese's. The build-up the week leading up to it was insane. I wish I could relive those days. And since I don't have kids of my own yet, it would be weird for me to just go hang out there by myself. So I've settled for sitting in the parking lot and staring longingly at the building. For all my love of Chuck E. Cheese, I was shocked to learn just recently that they made a full-length movie at one point. Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000 was released on VHS in 1999. This probably would have been right at the age where Chuck E. Cheese stopped being cool, so I probably just missed it. Apparently you could win it by redeeming tickets from the arcade too. It was never released again and fell into obscurity until someone uploaded it onto YouTube a few years back. And that's how we'll be watching it today. Chucky and his bandmates Munch, Jasper, and Helen are hanging out at Pasquale's diner. Pasquale and a kid named Charlie Rocket join them. Charlie expresses that he needs money. $50,000 to be exact.
And they're in a terrible fix because my dad says it'll take $50,000.
You see, his aunt and uncle live on a farm and their tractor just broke. With the harvest coming up, they'll lose the farm if they can't purchase a new one. This family's plan was to have their nephew go beg for $50,000 from Chuck E. Cheese? That's an interesting strategy. Our team of mascots tries to come up with a way to get the money, but can't really think of anything until Pasquale has an idea.
Pasquale, do you have any ideas on how we can come up with $50,000 for Charlie's aunt and uncle?
Whew. I'm glad you asked that question, Chucky.
There is a race taking place in a couple days on planet Orion called the Galaxy 5000. The prize money just so happens to be the equivalent of 52,000 American dollars. Wait, there's an exchange rate for extraterrestrial currency? Pasquale tells them that in order to win this race, they'll have to reach Vega 2 speeds. I don't know what that means, but all of the characters do, and they're so terrified of the thought that they refuse to help.
Vega 2 speeds on an obstacle course? That's nuts! You can count me out of it!
But Chucky breaks into a song and it convinces them to change their minds.
So come along with me, your buddy Chuck E. Cheese, I'd like to be your captain. How come common sense goes flying out the window every time he sings a song?
Chucky should consider becoming a cult leader. If he can convince a bunch of his friends to risk their lives on some foreign planet just to get a tractor for some kid, imagine how many poor suckers he could convert. But now that our crew is willing to join the race, how exactly are they going to get there? And they don't have a racer. So where will they find one? Well, Pasquale has a machine called the Awesome Adventure Machine that can teleport them directly to planet Orion and a racer waiting there for them. Wow, that problem was solved pretty quickly. So they arrive at the arena, which looks eerily similar to the pod racing arena in Star Wars Episode 1, a movie that was released 5 months before this one. But as they say, any movie that doesn't have Jar Jar Binks is better than any movie that does. They run into Peter and Ivan, the ex-pilots.
We have a superior training program, resulting in the maximum buffness. Yeah!
These guys have won 5 Galaxy 5000 races in a row, and there have been suspicions that they're cheaters, but nothing has been proven. They start hitting on Helen and almost get into a fight with Chucky, but their leader, Dr. Zoom, stops them.
You will demonstrate your superiority on the race course, not here. And that's final. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now we meet Pasquale's old mechanic and friend, Flapjack. He shows Chucky the rundown racer he'll be using and assures him that it will be in tip-top shape for the race. Then some random woman named Astrid comes up and starts flirting with Chucky. This makes Helen extremely jealous, so she storms off and sings a song about how she's in love with Chucky and how he doesn't see her for who she is.
Why can't he see the real me?
The next morning is the qualifying race. Helen doesn't show up to support the team, but watches from a distance. The race goes well until the racers reach what is known as Dead Man's Canyon, a wavy, rocky terrain that even Sebulba would have trouble with. The ex-pilots inhale some sort of gas that's pretty clearly a drug. They jump up to Vega 2 speed and fly right through the canyon with no issue whatsoever. Chucky kicks his speed up to Vega 2 as well, but nearly crashes, ends up finishing last, and barely qualifies for the final race. Let me throw some facts in here real quick. This movie was created by the Funimation Company. Who are they? Well, they're responsible for the American versions of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. In fact, the writer of Galaxy 5000, Neil Bly, wrote just under 100 episodes of Dragon Ball Z. There are also a few of the same voice actors. I couldn't find a ton of info on how they got roped into doing this movie, though. Christopher Sabat did the voice of Munch. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the most prolific and well-respected voice actors from the American versions of Dragon Ball Z. He did the voices of Piccolo, Vegeta, Yamcha, and a bunch more. And apart from Dragon Ball Z, he has nearly 500 voice credits to his name, and he's very popular in the anime scene in general. There's a rumor that Funimation actually denied that they made it for a while, but I couldn't substantiate that. The night after the qualifying race, Chucky is on a date with Astrid. Peter and Ivan come in and appear to be on a date with Helen. They all start taunting Chucky.
You make us laugh so hard. I think we're going to vent our pants.
Then Jasper sings a song where the chorus is,
We got a snowball's chance in Texas to win this race.
You know, I like that a lot. Usually the saying is a snowball's chance in hell, but since Texas is hell, it works out pretty nicely. So I found a seller on Facebook Marketplace that says he has a time machine. It's probably a scam, but if there's any small chance that I could revisit the glory days of Chuck E. Cheese's, I'll take it. Plus, he says he'll deliver. Then we cut to Ivan and Peter showing Helen around Dr. Zoom's lab.
Yeah, it's a great place. We use it as a gymnasium.
Yeah, and as a bachelor pad.
Yeah.
She asked them how they can race so fast, and they accidentally divulged that they use something called Zoom gas.
I thought so. You guys are cheating. There is such a thing as Zoom gas.
And then Dr. Zoom shows up.
Yes, my dear, there is such a thing as Zoom gas.
But Dr. Zoom! You told us never to say that!
You've already divulged our secret.
It is me you have come to worship. I am the mastermind. Did you think these fools could win on their own? How could you be so blind?
This leads to the best song in the movie, and probably of all time, if we're being honest.
It's a blast! It'll make you go fast. Yes, yes, yes!
Zoom gas. It makes you fly down the track. Zoom gas. Not as addictive as crack. Zoom gas. Might give you panic attacks. Zoom gas. Do whatever it takes. Zoom gas. Sell your soul for the race. Zoom gas. Snort some drugs with your face. So I get that zoom gas makes you reach a higher speed, but I'm not sure how it works. Like, how does something that someone inhales make their vehicle go faster? Dr. Zoom then explains that it's made from chickens, so they kidnap Helen and throw her in the basement with a bunch of other chickens. It was at this point while watching this movie that I said to myself, I can't believe this is real. Like, honestly, what a strange piece of history. Apparently they would show it on the TVs in Chuck E. Cheese restaurants, but it wasn't exclusive to those locations. There's a commercial advertising that it was actually sold in stores.
Chuck E. Cheese in the Galaxy 5000. It's in stores now.
I wonder if that means there are more copies of the VHS out there than I thought. I would love to own one, but they're very hard to come by. They show up on eBay every now and then and go for over $100. I did purchase a bootleg Blu-ray online, so I'm glad to at least have some kind of physical copy of it. I would kill for an official Blu-ray of this with special features. Maybe some interviews with the Dragon Ball Z guys where they discuss how embarrassed they are that they made this movie. I don't know. I can dream. So Chucky decides to go on a practice run through Dead Man's Canyon by himself. He crashes and wakes up in a cave with a hermit who is clearly just Pasquale with a Scottish accent.
I'm your friendly neighborhood hermit.
Chucky explains to the hermit that every time he reaches Vega 2 speed, he gets scared and bails out. The hermit then breaks into an inspirational song, and we get a training montage.
Now first you must train your body, this part of your foundation.
When Chucky doesn't return from his practice run, his friends become concerned, but Astrid gets annoyed that he won't be able to win the race for her.
No, I came here to be with the real racer, not a dropout.
So she joins up with the ex-pilots. Meanwhile, Helen escapes Dr. Zoom's lab. The next day, with his training complete, Chucky is ready for the race. He bids the hermit farewell and heads to the starting line.
Right. Goodbye. Pasquale.
Bye, Chucky!
He reunites with Helen. She tells him that she wasn't at all interested in the ex-pilots. She just wanted to prove that they were cheating. And Chucky apologizes for being a jerk. Helen also warns Chucky about the zoom gas.
Those X guys inhale something called zoom gas. It helps them to see better when they're going Vega 2 speeds.
Oh, that's how it works? Helen explained that way better than the actual doctor that invented the stuff. The race begins and it's neck and neck until they reach, you guessed it, Dead Man's Canyon. Both Chucky and the ex-pilots jump to Vega 2 speed.
They went to Vega 2!
Alright, Mousy, 2 can play at that game.
Yeah, Vega 2, hit the zoom gas!
Yeah.
And Chucky accidentally flies into a forest. When he gets out, he realizes the only way he'll be able to catch up is by going to Vega 3 speed. That reminds me a lot of Dragon Ball Z as well. We have the Vega 2 and Vega 3 speed thing here, and in Dragon Ball Z, we have Super Saiyan level 2 and 3. Anyways, Chucky starts to sing another song.
Yes, I think I can do it, but I've got to know that I can.
Punches it to Vega 3 and wins the race by a hair. The ex-pilots get arrested, and Chucky and his gang sing us another fun song.
And now it's time to shout and be happy. Jump to the sky. We did it, everybody.
Well, that was certainly something. I think it's important to remember that no matter how bad a movie seems or how cheap it looks, there's always an interesting story behind it, and there are likely a lot of real people who worked very hard on it. That must be my time machine. How did I not guess it was you? Get out of here.
Oh yeah, sure. No problem. Guess you won't be needing this.
Okay, fine. Just hand it over.
Not so fast. Gonna need to show you how to use it.
Fine, come in. All right, hand it over.
Whoa. I'm gonna need that cash up front. I thought going back to 1995 was priceless. It'll be $500.
Ronnie, you're a real piece of work, you know that?
Yes, I do. Alright, put the helmet on. Alright, now press that button. Turn that knob. Now press the de-ostracizer there. Okay, now count down from 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Piece of crap, it doesn't work.
I could have told you that.
Rodney, I'm gonna need a refund. Rodney?